Afternoon, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters and the Pathfinder School. Back in our series, 5 Minutes to Better Bushcraft. And today, we're going to discuss 5 navigational aids. Stay with me. Okay, real quick so you can write these down. Handrails, backstops, attack points, escape azimuths, and aiming off. And we're going to talk about them one at a time. Okay, so we've got this map drawn on the whiteboard to discuss these different types of navigational tools. Our camp is here, and we're camped close to a waterway here. This waterway flows up in here to a lake on our map and has a couple confluences here where it comes in and crosses a road over here to the west, north being at the top of our map. Okay, let's talk about handrailing for a minute. Let's say that we want to go to this old broken down homestead over here, but we don't want to do the up the hill, over the top, and back down. We want to be able to find an easier route to that. Well, what we can do is we can use this waterway in this valley, or this valley over here, as what's called a handrail. We can navigate through that and stay on the low ground with high ground on both sides until we hit this lake, and then we know to go over here. We could do the same thing on this side by coming up here and following this creek bed around, and when we get to this confluence, we know that the homestead is this direction. All right, so let's say for sake of purpose on this map that we've got an old homestead that we're showing over here on this map where there used to be some buildings, but we know they're not there anymore. And we want to go over there and possibly do some rooting around for some artifacts, do some metal detecting, something like that. Maybe look for some old bottles, what have you. We could navigate straight across here if we chose to do that, go up the hill between the saddle and back over. But we need what was called a backstop so that we know we didn't go too far. And in this case, we could use this waterway as our backstop, knowing that once we go up here and go through this saddle and back down the hill, if we hit this backstop or this waterway, we've gone too far. We've passed our mark. Okay, let's use this same model to talk about attack points. An attack point is an area on this map that's going to be a known feature for us, that's going to be easily identifiable when we get there, that will give us a shorter distance and direct line azimuth to our target area. So if we're looking for this old homestead and we're at our camp, we could handrail our way up through here to this confluence, which is showing on the map. It's a known feature. And when we get to that confluence, take a direct line distance and azimuth to the homestead instead of, again, having to try to navigate over the top of this. Okay, let's talk real quick about escape azimuths. An escape azimuth is something that you figure out before you ever leave. And generally what you're going to want to escape azimuth to is a known feature that's linear and long. Like this road over here that we've got marked as Road B. We've got this road off to our west. So anywhere that we were to get lost in here walking around, if all else fails and we take a westerly direct west bearing, since this is north, we take a direct west bearing, we're going to hit this road. All right, the last tool we need to talk about is called aiming off. And aiming off is used to, or in conjunction with your lateral drift. So you have to know what your lateral drift is to aim off. So let's use a quick example here between this camp and this homestead we talked about earlier. Let's say we get to this homestead, we've done our stuff, we've got to the homestead, we've looked around, and now we want to go back to our camp. And we decide, you know what, instead of going back the way we came, I'd like to explore this hilltop and see what's up there. So what I do is I take an azimuth to my camp, knowing that I have a backstop here of water in case I miss it, and that's important that I have a backstop for aiming off. And I would aim off in the direction of my lateral drift on purpose. So if my azimuth to here was 180, I might aim over here at like 170. Knowing that my lateral drift is in this direction so that when I get to here, I know exactly which way to turn to get back to my camp. Okay guys, well that was just a quick review of 5 navigational tools that you can use as a woodsman to help yourself stay found and also help yourself navigate the woods easier. I appreciate your views, I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I'll be back with another video in this series as soon as I can. Thanks guys.